I'm pleased to introduce this year's Salutatorian, Mr. Lucas Capps.
I would like to thank you all, friends, family, and our honored guests, for coming here today. The world will little know nor long remember what we say here. In fact, most of you probably won't remember what I say as soon as I sit down. Plus, nobody remembers who comes in second, so I'm off the hook. Now, you, on the other hand, good luck. Anyway, as I was getting ready for this speech, I was Googling good quotes for graduation speeches, and I saw the same thing over and over again. That go get 'em, follow your dreams stuff, the usual inspirational, condescending advice you get from 18-year-olds who think they understand how the world works. And that seemed pretty boring, so I decided to find something different, something more personal. Last year, in his graduation speech, David Zarge mentioned how the administration gave him this huge, long list of topics to talk about. And I guess they didn't like what they got, because all they told us this year was write a speech. And as I sat around trying to think about what to write with such a blank slate, I asked for advice from people close to me, and they all said the same thing: write about what you love. One thing that I really love is physics, and I started to think about something I could talk about with that, and I thought about Newton's laws. I figured, hey, if they're good enough for the universe, they're good enough for me. Newton's first law states that an object in motion will stay in motion, or an object at rest will stay at rest. Now, the same can be said for people. People don't like change. It's scary, it's uncertain. The biggest change in my life has been switching to North Springs from my old school. I'm gonna be honest with you, it scared the crap out of me. But it's been the best decision I've ever made. North Springs is so much more accepting, diverse, and exciting than my old school. The people here are nicer, more inclusive, and it's just a better environment. The first law also states that the only thing that can change an object is an outside force. However, sometimes people have to break this part of the law. Sometimes we will be lucky enough to have friends, family, or coaches there to push you to change, to help motivate you. But oftentimes it has to come from inside of you. You have to be the force for change for yourself. And next year, in the next 4 years, we're going to be at college. We're going to have to be the ones that are the driving force for change in our lives. Force leads us into Newton's second law. Newton's second law states that force equals mass times acceleration. If we assume force is the impact that you'll have in the world, it's your legacy. It's made up of two things: your mass and your acceleration. Your mass is what you start out with. It's your talent, your wealth, whatever it is. It's all the starting conditions. And it's pretty fixed. It doesn't change much. And it's also partially out of your control. But acceleration, that's the work and effort you put into something. It's your determination. And that's entirely up to you. Because while mass is a fixed number, it can help you get started, but it won't get you where you want to go. If your acceleration, your effort, is 0, then you'll never get anywhere. But with enough effort and hard work, you can achieve the impossible. Newton's third law states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. All that really means is that everything you do has an effect on somebody somewhere, and you have to treat it as such. If we all put as much effort and thought into the things that matter as we do what clothes to wear, what filter to use in Instagram, the world would be a lot better place. Every once in a while, a moment comes along that will make a huge impact in your life and your future. For example, just recently, many of us were asked to decide our future for the next 4 years or more. Oftentimes, these moments are very obvious, but sometimes they seem inconsequential, and you don't notice it until it's already happened, which is why you always have to pay attention. Ray Tanner once said, "There's only a few steps between the outhouse and the penthouse, and it's making the key decisions at those key moments, those turning points in your life, that make you who you are." I want to take a moment to thank the teachers and faculty here in North Springs for all they've done. In particular, I want to thank Mr. Luna for being a great physics teacher and an inspiration. He finally gave me a little bit of direction in my future. I always knew I wanted to do something in STEM, but I never knew what it was until I took his class. Thank you, Ms. King, for making reading and literature interesting for the first time. and for teaching me a little bit about myself. Thank you, Coach Bankston, for helping teach us about baseball, about life, and about what it means to be something big, a part of something bigger than ourselves, about being part of a team, even if it wasn't always easy. And last, but certainly not least, thank you, Mr. G. For being a great teacher, but more than that, for being a great friend, and for always being there for us. I also want to thank you guys, Mom and Dad, for loving and supporting me these past 18 years. Thank you to my teammates for being the brothers that I never had. And finally, class of 2015. I'm not going to lie to you. Kind of like the movie Interstellar, I had no idea how to end this speech. But rather than ramble on for an hour, I'm just going to say thank you for all the memories, both good and bad, and good luck.